Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. They'll start on the ground. Hall dances by him, and they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
On first down, right back to Hall. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
This pass out wide to Hall. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Now Wilson. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down. They go play action now. Wilson. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown Jets. Elijah Moore. 31 yards. And the Jets are on the board here first in the season opener. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there, and you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Now 1 for 1, a lot more to go. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. 13. Yeah. No.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Play action. Now Jackson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Paul on a give up the middle. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. I think this is a free play for Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he's got this down to the 35. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. They find some open field here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. They'll get this out to the flat for ETN. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started, because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number, and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road. Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Another tote for ETN. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Jackson finding ETN here, catching it on the out route. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They go play action with Jackson. He'll get that underneath ETN. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up?
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tucker's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Wilson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. 81 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 36 yards out. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. To throw is Jackson. He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins. Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins from 21 yards away. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
From the 22, Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll be out right at the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
First down from C.J. Uzomah there in New York. They were quick to pounce on him when he hit the open market from Cincinnati. They saw him set career highs across the board in 2021, and they believe his ceiling is even higher. Plays like that reinforce that belief.
He'll get this to about the 38.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
80 weapon.
Ball again on 2nd down. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 115 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll give to Hall. Room here to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
They'll go again with Hall, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Being chased out left. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football here at their own 23. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 35.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And incomplete on the deep ball.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Play action. It's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll give them 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Bravo!
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Forced out to his left. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. A give running right, ETN. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
change it.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Understanding he's just down one possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Play action. It's Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay. 45 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A toss left side for Hall. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Hall again on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again and do all those punches and counter-punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Play action. Now Jackson. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
No, we change it. Hey, report.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill. When your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon, there's an incompletion right there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 38-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Throwing, Jackson. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. ETN bringing in another one. Down inside the 10. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Wilson to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got a man. Complete. And he's in. Are you kidding me?
How do you get that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game. And they do win it on the final play. Absolute bedlam. You can forget overtime. What a finish. And this crowd in a frenzy.
As well they should be. That's the type of ending that you actually pay money to see. And when it turns out